Yeah, he certainly was. Trivia Boy played an excellent game one. His engage, his disengage timings were fantastic. He escaped a couple of hairy situations as well. I think one of which, me and you were joking about. I was a little upset at Bullet Prince missing a hook there, and I heard Necrox praising his hooks in the game, and I was like, Necrox, how dare you? But nevertheless, Trivia Boy did play a very good game one on that Galio, and we'll see if he does get it back in his hands. I would guess not. We'll see if that's prioritized for New Age. I don't think they'll be happy with how easily he was able to influence fights, but it will be interesting to see what the adaptations are. Again, I don't know if it'll be a ton of draft adaptations from New Age, maybe just a strategic focus, but we might see one or two things change up here.
Yeah. Well, as we get into our picks and bans, first thing I'm going to do is respond to Eloquence. So the bottom side, for those of us who didn't get through high school, is actually, if you look at the mini map, it's going to be on the bottom side of it. So hopefully you can figure that out in the near future. But in the meantime, we are getting into game two between Glaive, Amethyst, and New Age. We got Ivern, Seraphine, and Timo is being hovered. I wonder if it's going to be banned. No, it's Urgot banned away from New Age. And on the other side, Rel and Zoe already knocked off. So I don't blame them for the Yone. Honestly, that looked really rough in the latter half of that game.
Yeah, early half not so bad. It went very well for Alterest, who performed pretty well in the early game for someone who just literally got subbed in right before the game. But that Yone was the big problem in the later stage of the game. And oh boy, Glaive does
Oh.
not want Alterest back on that Viego. I can understand why. Again, this did not go great for POS2 in lane. He was really struggling against that pick. Eventually did just outscale it, and there was no one that could match the Yone in the side lane. But with the Yone taken away, yeah, why not just take that out of Ultra's hands after he played so well on it in game one? But oh boy, Senatom Kench, this is a lane I love to see.
So I'm a support main and I can't CS at all. So this is a lane that I fear I ever have to take part in. But in terms of League of Legends watching, I'm all about it. I haven't actually seen this anywhere in amateur yet, so I'm wondering how New Age is going to make this look. It is so safe and it scales very effectively, which was something that they were kind of lacking in their last game.
Yeah, it definitely has scaling. Probably it's unlimited scaling on the
Right.
Senna. This is a champion I play all the time. I absolutely love this champion. I love the fasting Senna. I think fasting Senna is much stronger in my opinion than farming Senna is right now. So hate that I can't bring it out in solo queue more often because you can't trust anyone in solo queue to play this appropriately. When you get into competitive, when you get into comms, this works brilliantly. I love it again from New Age. Like I said, I didn't really have a huge problem with their first game draft. They had some spicy picks. They had some things they clearly planned, and this is another one of them. Senatom Kench. It's a meta lane, but it is an obnoxious and sort of weird lane to play against for a potentially team like Glaive, and it does offer you that scaling aspect. And you got an Oriana now to go on top of it for team fighting.
Yeah, New Age already has a great team fight composition thrown together. I do like what Glaive answered with in response, though, with the Karma and Caitlyn. Senna, you gotta pick up souls. If you want to be relevant, you gotta get on souls. Is there a better bottom duo for punishing you to no end for grabbing said souls? Karma and Caitlyn have poke potential to an insane length. And while, yeah, Tom Kinch can keep Senna from dying, he can't actually keep her from taking a ton of poke over time. So I actually love this Caitlyn Karma response.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how the Caitlyn Karma does play. I know Starling is an excellent drafter, so I think this could be a trap against really the Tom Kench, who needs to step up to farm. If you do get him into a chain, into a trap, the combo can be really large. You do zone away Senna, but it's a little bit trickier to zone Senna away from her souls when she's the support versus when she is the AD carry. It has to farm as is responsible for farming as well. We'll see if they do play it that way, but
Mhm.
nevertheless, will be a lane I think more importantly, that pushes very hard into Senna Tom Kench. The one thing that Senna does not do well is push. You heard Double Lift say it when Senna came out at the beginning of last season, called it a doggy champ because he couldn't push on it, and teams would just split to the other side of the map, go away from the Senna, and try to go into turret race, and you just couldn't win them. Of course, adaptations came later on, but that is the one thing she really does struggle with, is to try to clear waves. And yeah, I mean, Caitlyn Karma is going to clear waves in an absolute instant.
Well, the new coming in for New Age. All right, Age King. I'd say he was a little lackluster on the Heck Room. You know what he's usually pretty friggin' good at is gonna be that Nunu and Willem. I really like what New Age have thrown together so far. They have a great team fight. They can answer basically anywhere on the map in a split second with the Tom Kench and the Nunu, because I don't know, he gets into hyperspeed with the snowball, but that composition's looking mighty terrifying at the moment. Now, Zach and Volibear grabbed for Glaive Amethyst, so I think that's a pretty nasty team fight they got going for them as well, but they're kind of reminding me of New Age because there's not a lot of AP outside of the Karma, and that is, I do believe, the support Karma. So I can't imagine she's gonna be that nuclear fusion Karma that just blows you up with one Q. But I think we're really setting up for some crazy team fights here.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited. The only disappointing thing for me is that I saw that Zillion hover come through it. I'm pretty sure I saw either Starling or someone else, a couple other people in Twitch chat memeing about it on Twitter last week, that it would be braver to play a Zillion top than a couple other picks. So I thought for a second it was going to come through, but so sad that we didn't get to see that one. That would have been fun. Nevertheless, as you mentioned, we have some big time team fighting comps in here. The Zac, of course, can come over every wall, can be super tanky alongside the Volibear. You've got Caitlyn Karma in the backline to provide the heals and the shields. The Viego can get those resets, provide sort of the team fight cleanup that you do need from this side. And then, yeah, on the other end, look no further than the Gnar, Willem, Orianna. You've got multiple ball delivery systems. You've got the Senna with protection on the backside. It's good drafting, I think, from both teams here. These are both very focused comps. They know what they want to do. They have clear win conditions. They can team fight. They can push waves. They can jump in. They can siege in particular on Glaive Amethyst side. The siege there, disgusting with Caitlyn, Zac, and Volibear able to dive in under those turrets. So really like what's going on. I think a lot of preparation has clearly been made for these series, and these teams are drafting super well. Now all we got to look for is a little bit of improvement in New Age's mid game, and we could be in for another banger on our hands.
Yeah, no, this is one of those drafts where they could get out of hand very quickly. They're both really easy to execute. So if you let these drafts get ahead in the games, you could just lose by 25 minutes because it's really hard to misplay on some of the engages that they have. But that does go for both teams. I do think that Glaive Amethyst has a easier draft to execute than on New Age, but New Age is still looking like they're a pretty straightforward idea here. So last game, it was all about the jungle matchup. It was, can Baby Powder have a bigger impact than Age King? Now my eyes are purely on this bottom side with Vark and Trivia Boy, a dynamic duo that basically beats out just about everybody else, and Blazing Bronze and Chaser on a new look, on an interesting idea that we've seen executed on a professional level, and now it's time to see if it can get executed on this level. And can Vark and Trivia Boy stymie Blazing Bronze's Senna?
Yeah, that really is the question. It'll be interesting because I don't know if we'll see a whole lot of kills in the lane. Again, I think the real kill combination, it's Karma root into the Caitlyn trap. I don't think that will be the, I think the New Age bot lane will be aware of that potential.
Right.
Will be respectful of that. The Tom Kench, of course, does have shielding as well. Senna will continue to get higher and higher range as she gets souls. And when you're playing fasting Senna, it doesn't take you too long to get to those 20 souls and get a little bit of extended range. So I don't think we'll see a ton of kills in the bottom lane, but I agree with you that my eyes are here because we're going to see this Caitlyn Karma want to push in. as hard as possible. We could see dives coming in from the Zac, a Volibear TP at the level 6s. We could see Dragon Priority coming in from Glaive off of that. We know how much they like their macro. So my eyes are on the bottom lane to see how this is played out by Vark and Trivia Boy, who should have the prio against a lane that should scale better than them, which is funny to say about a Caitlyn who usually scales so very well. But, Caitlyn operates well when she has range. And, towards the end of the game, when the Sen is hitting you from 2 screens away and has double your range, it's a little bit tricky. But it will be interesting there. And it will be interesting, I think, to see how POS now pilots this Viego. Again, we don't know because we haven't seen a whole ton of these matchups just yet. Orianna is a bit of a more mobile control mage. This one actually now being piloted by Peter, who is back in for Alterest. But it will be interesting to see how that matchup does go in mid lane. I expect there won't be too much, as Orianna's pretty typically can stay safe even against a champion like Viego.
Yeah, Orianna's going to be one of the best mid lane champions. Whenever I get autofilled into the mid lane, I'm grabbing Orianna. It's hard to be the reason your team loses when you're playing Orianna, and that's usually my method of victory. But yeah, Orianna should be very safe and sound against Viego. Viego doesn't quite have the all-in to get onto Orianna and hit her with the consistent enough damage to where you can break through the protect. So I think Peter's going to be fairly safe on this one, but I'll tell you what, Viego and Zac, on the other hand, can absolutely blow up in Orianna, and it always feels real bad when you can't walk away and you just get stun locked and get, imploded on. What I'm really curious to see is, because you did bring this up, Caitlyn, Karma, they're going to be shoving in on that bottom side. They're going to be in very gankable positions. So there's kind of 2 ways you can go about this. One, you can ward up to know exactly when this Nunu is kind of coming in, although usually when you see him on the wards, he's already pretty fast, picked up a lot of steam, and it's going to be pretty tough to get away. Or 2, you can fight fire with blobs and bring in Zac to the bottom side to kind of mirror Caitlyn and Karma. If Nunu ever does gank, that is not a 3v3 that New Age is really going to win here. Caitlyn, Karma, and Zac are about as nice of a team fight trio as you could really ask for.
Yeah, I think level 6 will be a big ticking point in this matchup. Zac is a slow jungler, doesn't clear very healthy, and wants that level 6 access to be able to really get in over the walls and do everything he wants to do. Also get a little bit of tank to go with that. So I don't expect Baby Powder to make a lot of plays in the early game. So it'll be most of what we talked about between these lanes, but it all does change when the Zac hits 6. He can come into the lane from anywhere. He can come into a team fight from anywhere. He will be tanky and he will be tough to deal with. Same can be said for the Nunu, but I do expect a little bit more action from Age King, who can get things rolling with that snowball earlier on in the game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, to see how this one goes, you're gonna have to stay tuned for about a minute and a half while we are off air. Honestly, I'm still sticking with my 2-0 here for Glaive Amethyst after they won their first game against New Age. Taking a quick look around some of the other games, Vlad Banners only win their first game against Bucky Stratosphere, who is back to 0 wins after the unfortunate exit of FGCU from our league. So if anything, that's pretty heartbreaking for them. Akuma Glaives will be a game up on YO Boomers, and this is going to be a banger because this could very well be a look into how the finals play out, how the playoffs are playing out. I'm pretty sure both of these squads are probably going to be making their way to those top spots, so this is going to be wild. But my name is G-Spox Guy. Joining me was DJ, and Neck, Crocs, and Doctor are going to be taking it from here, so give it all you got, boys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Excellency Heavy League. It's week 5 time. We're back with game number 2 between Glaive, Amethyst, and New Age. I thought, man, we were gonna get the upset of the century. New Age were looking good early game number 1, but just didn't have the tools to close it out. But man, I'm not sure about chat. I'm not sure about predictions. I'm on the New Age train. They've got the Senna Tahm Kench. They've got their Nunu. They've got Peter back in the mid lane on the Orianna. I love what they have done with this draft, and I am absolutely ready for this upset.
You may have to wait quite a bit longer, Necrox. It's looking rough out here for New Age stands. I mean, how are you going to look at the draft Glaive have put before us and even pretend that there is a counter? Yes, they have a lot of attack damage. Yes, they have a lot of melees, but they got damage, and that's all that really matters.
Yeah, and Peter's taking a little bit of damage, to be honest. We'll have to use a Corrupting Pot, which really never feels good in early game, but regardless, does have a ranged matchup versus melee and mid lane, so should be just a-okay. We'll start off on the bot side. Is Age King for New Age, so a bit of a normal start to the game here. Potato Senpai on this Gnar will start the Cull, which is a little bit interesting to me. I have not seen a Cull start Gnar in quite a while. But regardless, Fasting Senna is where my eyes are at. It has been all over the rest of Excellency. Haven't seen it yet in a stream game in Heavy League. I know Light has been all about it, even Mid League. All about this marksman that doesn't need as much gold as, here we go. They're just bursting them down. And Senna TK has so much sustain with Doran's shield and just the Senna Q piercing darkness that they can do that over and over and over again. And oh my good lord, Age King has arrived, Trivia Boy. Oh dear God. Age King is making the play, and it's first blood to the catfish in the bot lane.
I was definitely a little concerned about this bot lane. Not a huge fan of Fasting Senna with Tahm Kench. It does stuff, but it just feels like you can get more out of a different support. Tahm Kench, I think it's time to bench the clench. It's just, I don't know. Obviously, it works out. You get first blood. You've hyper accelerated your team now. New Age, though, do have a bit of a jungle issue. It's the Nunu. You're really not gonna be that relevant. And so even now, they were scared off of taking the enemy red buff. So they do lose out on that little bit of verticality in the terms of jungling. But if they can get back, if they can help out the top side, they could be on a good pace still. Oh, the scoop!
That's a good pull, but there's the Devour to keep blazing, save the heal, and Flash will be committed. But look who's here once more. It's the Nunu, man. The snowball has been started, and the rolling keeps on going. Trivia Boy is here low. Age King, though, gonna have to flash away a good binding, but in comes the Stretching Strike once again. No one will lose their life this time around. Maybe POS2, though, couldn't say the same. Ignite ticks down, but not enough to kill this Glaive Amethyst mid laner. Again, Age King rolling himself here into the bot lane on a counter gank to Baby Powder, but won't see any blood spilled, just still that first blood to the name of New Age.
Pretty sloppy there from Glaive. Lots of flashes burned that probably didn't need to be burned. We saw Baby Powder flash under tower just to get the W off when it was pretty healthy, and then you saw Caitlyn flash in as well and just didn't have the damage with just that Doran's Blade to finish him off. And so now we see Chaser kind of all by this lonesome there in this 2v1, but just waiting for their friend to come back. And it's interesting because this is a weird kind of bot lane situation we're finding ourselves in because it is this Caitlyn Karma. Very potent lane. It's something they were talking about on the desk where this is a perfect lane to try and counter out the Kench because he's a melee champion and that's effectively your carry right now. Whereas Mark and Trivia Boy, they have this poke, they have this long range damaging abilities, and they can just keep autoing them into oblivion. I mean, look, Blazing Bronze just got back to the lane and they're already missing a third of their HP.
Yeah, Chaser will finally get his first back in, I believe. That's what he will be doing, and indeed. And I did want to mention, before that action went down, that Vark has chosen a champion that is recently buffed. Caitlyn was not strong at all in 11-3, 11-4. We're still yet to find out. But with a couple buffs under the Piltover Peacemaker's belt, it might be a little different. But here we go. The flash forward is going to find the route onto Senna, and there's just no way away for this marksman. Here comes Chaser with a catfish, the tongue in hand. The return TP is in, and POS2 has shown up. This time, it's Glaive Amethyst. They're going to move their mid laner down and find themselves a tasty meal. Will take up the soul of the catfish, no problem. 2-1, Glaive Amethyst.
This is chalked. I don't know, folks. This is just, you gave a kill to the Caitlyn, you gave a kill to the Viego. Literally the last two champions on the server you needed to give a kill over to. And so you sent Blazing Bronze trying to hold the lane solo. They flashed on him. They recognized the Senna does not have an escape, does not have any way to get away once they're engaged upon. Kills him. Then you get the teleport in from Chaser trying to be that support of player again and try and save something or try and bring something back. But Ira, Tom, Kench, you're not doing anything. So they fall down. They do get the teleport out of Clonk, which does give a bit of an advantage to Potato Senpai for now.
Ooh, here we go. POS2 not going to be able to get away from this when the shockwave is there, but the Heartbreaker ultimate will get him to safety. I spoke too soon. The Aftershock is proc, Age King going low. The stun is there with the Spectral Maw, and POS2 has turned it around with the help of the support from Jungle and Trivia Boy, going to get themselves yet another kill on this Viego. I loved what New Age had done in the draft, but they're breaking my heart right now, Doctor. They just can't put the pieces together. The puzzle is falling apart, and Glaive Amethyst looking to run away with this one. While the gold lead isn't necessarily reflective of how bad this early game has gone for them, because the CS is still there, and because naturally Senna will accrue gold over time, Peter taking a heavy trade. It's still really, really rough. And Structuring Strike still available in the bot lane for Baby Powder if he does want to go in.
Yep, we are going to get the engage as well.
Yeah, Chaser can't get away and will fall regardless. The question is, does Senna find an escape? Blazing Bronze on the run for the third time this game. This play has been turned around. The blast cone is denied by Vark. Over the wall they go. Blazing Bronze is dead. And the Bully Bear is here. And the Teddy Bear will give you a nice old big hug. Baby Powder has found himself a kill. And this has escalated quickly, ladies and gentlemen. 6-1 on the scoreboard. Almost 8 minutes in.
Yeah, this is looking to be a rough game. This is looking much more like what we expected from Glaive Amethyst heading into the series. And it really is right now just turning into a draft diff from the start. I mean, when you look at this New Age composition, they have 0 winning lanes, they have no jungle pressure, and they don't really have a lot of scaling. It's looking really unfortunate for the team here. They could try and get something lucky here with the Potato Patur kind of wombo combo with the Gnar and the Shockwave, but it is looking not great to a start. Now, granted, as we saw last game with Viego, they do get kind of squishy. It may not see the same type of build path as we did then because, again, different player, different mindset of what they want to do. So they could go for a more healthier, more tankier build path and don't find themselves blown up quite as often. But it's looking like the scaling for Glaive Amethyst is going to continue to be a bit of a problem here. I mean, they have this Volibear that did pick up some AP stats. We'll have to see if it is continuing to be the full AP. Right now they're sitting on that Omnivamp trying to be just healthy. You know, they're working out, they're eating their veggies, they're trying to stay up in the HP bar. But it also has some great wave clear, which will kind of work out here, especially if Potato Senpai keeps trying to play this roaming game.
And PS2 hot feet there to dodge this largest snowball ever. And yeah, Age King, well, may not die, it just has to run away. If you don't land that initial engage with Nunu, it's kind of like Hecarim. I feel like that's where you get your animosity for these two champions, that it's all in on really not much nuance to the champ. Kind of go in, if you don't find the initial play, your champ doesn't feel like it does too much, excuse me. And yeah, Age King gonna have to use the phase rush to escape, and this full-on ranged bot lane is now a straight-up punishing Chaser and Blazing Bronze. They can't step up to the wave. They can't contest any CS. And here comes the Rescuer once again. The Nunu is rolling in. Vark has both summoners, remind you. Will flash out of the initial route, but it's going to connect nonetheless. Remember, no flash down on the AD carry. This could be a good play, and a shutdown has been passed over to Senna. Trivia Boy flashing away as well with a flash follow. The sun not available, and the piercing darkness not available. The binding is there. Oh, it is so unlucky for New Age not to get themselves a double kill in the bot lane, but regardless, they pick up one. It is some sort of consolation prize for the squad.
Yeah, they get a little bit of gold back. It does help out the team that has been struggling a little bit. We'll have to see if this gank actually goes off. Uses the shockwave.
Shockwave committed, but the Heartbreaker is there, and it's just too easy for a champion like Viego. Will go very low at the end of that play, taking 2 turret shots, but Clonk Gronk Zonk, he's here to reinforce his mid laner, no worries.
They do eat quite a bit of damage when you're trying to steal the soul there. It's actually what we saw kill them in the last game, which was a bit unfortunate. So overall, it's a 1-for-1 trade across the map, which is okay. We are seeing a huge bit of advantage into this top lane, though. Once again, Clonk Gronk Zonk find themselves on the worst end of the trade deal. They've lost 3 tower plates, they're down 20 CS, and they've basically been here the whole time. They have roamed a little bit, but I feel like Potato Senpai has definitely been out of lane a bit more. But it is this AP Volibear for now. They do have, let's see, it should be a bit of gold. They have 1,400 gold in the bank, so we'll have to see what they are able to pick up on the next back. And as the levels continue to grow for Clonk, we are going to have to see, now that they have the fully maxed Frenzied Ball, if they do decide to try and get a little bit more active, fighting into the Gnar or things like that. Right now it is just the Mega Gnar, but it falls away.
Potato gonna be here for the dive. In comes Age King, but there's your crash down with the Stormbringer. Blast Cone to safety, but Clonk Gronk Zonk, remember he's AP, doesn't have too much HP, and Potato will get his first kill of the game, and that's first turret gone with the Rift Herald summoned. Well done there to New Age to be able to get their first turret, get a little bit of gold back in their pockets, and that gold lead that had built up for them has now evaporated. It is basically dead even once again, as Blazing Bronze and Chaser will do their best to defend their tier 1.
Yeah, a lot of the power of this Volibear right now is going to be coming from the second and onward of the Frenzied Strikes. If you're only able to get that first one off, it doesn't really matter. You get the healing, you get the bonus damage, you get the bleed. All of that comes from the second instance of the ability. And what they did a really great job of there on the top side was preventing that second strike. Had they got that off, they would have got some healing. They would have gotten a good amount of damage there onto Potato Senpai that may have been enough to turn it back into a 1-for-1. But using the Absolute Zero, using the Snowball, the Boomerang, all of that kept them safe.
Oh, good ultimate there from Blazing Bronze to keep himself alive with the shield, and Trivia Boy's gone down already. Remember, Bark had no flash from the play earlier, and Chaser's healthy enough. He devours the Caitlyn, spits him back out, and grabs Potato, who TP'd into the fight himself, a double kill and a flash away from Peter. Man, New Age have found themselves a 3-0 fight. 2 members going down in bottom lane, POS2 going down in mid lane, and all of a sudden, it's a gold lead for New Age.
Yeah, I mean, they made some great plays. They get the teleport down from Potato Senpai, taking advantage of the lead they've garnered themselves. They punished this bot lane for playing super disrespectful as well. And so it's just really interesting to see how this Caitlyn Karma just isn't working as well once they get a little bit of assistance. They do have this advantage in CS, and, you know, they did have a pushing power when you get the teleport coming in.
Oh, double TP onto the bot lane and a good devour, but don't think that Chaser will live to tell the tale. He does go down. Wonderfully done, though, to get Senna out. That was Operation Rescue for the marksman there. And Blazing Bronze will be able to escape, or at least was. The Spectral Maw going to come forward and stun up New Age King. There we go, and Age King is dead again. Senna once again lives. But running back to tier 3, the Ace in the Hole will go forward, and POS2, he's chasing all the way back to the fountain and will finally go down. Age King gonna claim the kill credit as combat was continued. But man, what in the world? Glaive Amethyst running all the way into the base to chase down this Senna. And here comes Chaser. He was behind this play with the teleport the entire time. The trap's gonna make him a little bit slower. Bart gonna flash away, but where's the tongue? There it is. It connects. 1, 2 licks. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? It's only 3. Bart tastes yummy and will go down over the wall to blazing bronze.
Lots of action there, tons of things to break down, and we do get that nice little 3-piece of kills down in the bottom side of the map for Glaive Amethyst, but they lose a lot, and they're continuing to lose a lot.
Oh, what a play from Potato and Peter. The shockwave heard across the world. And New Age, yes, they've taken hits. Yes, they got bullied. And yeah, they're probably a worse team, Doctor, but they are not going down without a fight. It's 10-10 on your scoreboard, and they have themselves a sizable 3K gold lead.
It's okay, we just gotta wait a couple minutes and they'll do something silly and we'll find ourselves on the opposite side. But for now, yeah, I mean, they're taking advantage of the power spikes they have in their side. They do lose a big fight down bottom, but because of the way the rest of the map state was, they actually end up getting a lot for it. They got the top tier 2, they got the mid tier 1 and tier 2 out of it after the double kill in mid as well. So with the grand scheme of things, for the last 5 minutes, I believe it was 3 for 3 on kills and 3 for 1 on towers, because again, 2 in the mid lane, 1 in the top lane versus just the bot tier 1 on the side of Glaive Amethyst. So overall, I do think New Age came out ahead in the last 5 minutes, and the gold does kind of reflect that.
Yeah, and New Age now not only have a gold lead, but they have a tremendous tower lead as well, as you were mentioning, Doctor. I mean, they've got themselves 4 turrets to the 1 that was claimed in bot lane, and that gives them so much map pressure with the global presence that they have. And watch this, they're going to use it to the greatest extent, forcing Vark and Trivia Boy away from this wave. Even will sort of face plant that snowball right into the back of the Karma. But this is what they get to do. They get to threaten their engage with the TK ulti. And they get to threaten that Nunu all the time. Peter gonna have to be able to dodge this one out. The shockwave used immediately, trying to speed himself away, but he's on the wrong side of Summoner's Rift. Needs the team to be able to reinforce. Chaser is looking for the ulti, but at level 1, it just doesn't do enough. And the Senna, the Dawning Shadow, is not enough to save the mid laner. Peter will go down in a solo kill fashion. Chaser's on the hunt. The Flash Tongue will connect, and POS2 will be hunted down. The final tongue lick into the back, and Peter will not die in vain. Yes, you get a kill, but at what cost? Your mid lane turret is gone, and now Potato's in a little bit of trouble. It's a lot of damage coming out from Blazing, but make it double, as 2 members are trapped up here in the binding. Klonkrong Zonk gonna have to flash away from this engage, and here comes Chaser on the hunt for more. The Catfish is hungry, but won't find enough on the back end of the fight. Glaive Amethyst get themselves out. New Age still hungry for plays.
They're making it work. They're coming at Glaive heavy. They're making sure they can find something cross map. They're making sure they can hopefully trade 1-for-1s. They're playing as a team, and they're kind of, you know, bully brosing it through the rest of the map. They're hanging out with Age King and Chaser, who has been given a lot more agency by being the farming champion. Last game we saw them on the Thresh. They had some amazing death sentences. They really could have changed the pace of the game if it hadn't been such a skill matchup in terms of the mid lane. Now you do have your main mid laner in, you have them on a very heavy control mage that can just one-shot team fights, and it's no longer as reliant on a potential skill fight. Yes, Peter could die here, but it doesn't really matter. He just gets away, phase rush, forces a summoner spell out as well, so even though he's dead, you're not playing for right now. You're playing for the dragon in 4.5 minutes. You're playing for the Baron in probably about 5 minutes from now. These individual plays only matter so much.
Yeah, like that kill, while it feels good, you get your Viego 300 more gold, and that feels amazing. But now you're down flash for the dragon, right? You don't have flash when dragon initially spawns. You'll have it about 30 seconds afterward. So yes, you get a little bit of gold, but you have to think, is it really worth? As H-King will run down POS2, and with no flash, Blazing Bronze, all he has to do is get out of melee range, and there it is. That's a return kill for the Nunu. Chaser's gone down in mid lane. Meanwhile, Clonk Wrong Zonk can TP'd into this one, and with a Kraken Slayer, excuse me, on the back of Blazing Bronze, it does a lot of damage to this Volibear. There's a Stormbringer gonna crash down. The Shockwave will absolutely whiff, and Clonk Wrong Zonk will find a return kill, but Blazing Bronze has claimed a shutdown of his own onto the Volibear. And they're looking for more. Potato hopping forward. Still gonna throw a couple more boomerangs out. Won't find very much. And yes, all these kills are going down, but I agree with you, Doctor. It doesn't really matter. But what does matter is Vark wailing away at this tier 1, but he might pay the ultimate price in his life. Has to flash away, use the heal as well. This is absolute misplay from Vark. You cannot give up both summoners when Soul Point is available in 3 minutes, and Baron is on the board. Dear God, please don't start this one up, New Age.
Yeah, no, they have a slow Baron. Definitely hold off on that. Kind of wait for Glaive to do an oopsie again and try and counter you. But no, I mean, I think so far they're playing great on the side of New Age. They do have a lot of tools in their kit. They're taking advantage of the draft coming in here from Glaive. Trivia Boy once again.
Potato has Mega. Potato's gonna go Mega, but it doesn't matter. He dies anyway. Trivia Boy is dead, and with 28 seconds on the support, this could be the time to pull the Baron. There's a lot of engaged tools available for the side of Glaive Amethyst. Still have that slingshot from Baby Powder that can knock up multiple members. Still have Viego to bring in the Heartbreaker and crush the hearts of New Age fans all alike. Here you go, the fight's gonna go in, and the Heartbreaker onto Blazing Bronze. Senna needs to get out, but she's been shut down. Age-King will secure the Baron for New Age, but at what cost? The fight's gonna break out. New Age going forward. The Shockwave connects onto 2. Age-King gonna go low. He's spat out by Chaser. He saves his member, but they all have to run for the hills. And Potato's gone Mega. And where were you when New Age secured Baron, and Potato secured a triple against the #1 team in XLNC? Baby Powder will be hunted down. Yes, you've got the passive, and he gets away over the wall at 1 HP, but New Age have found themselves a Baron.
Potato just doing everything to carry this game right now. 6-0-4, Stridebreaker, Sterix Gauge, and the Pantaloons in tow. There is a lot going right for this Gnar right now, and honestly, how are you going to contest a Nunu on a Baron, right? You got Chomp, you got Smite. There's nothing you can really do to out damage that, especially when you're just a plain old Zac, not even full AP Zac, which is kind of cheeky. But we actually saw a lot of great things there from New Age. Yes, they start off the Baron after a pick. Great. They have the Baron that they can do. It's a little slow, yes, like we said earlier, but it's almost uncontestable because of the Nunu. So they do get advantage out of it. They do get a little bit of a stats boost. And Vark on this Caitlyn just hasn't had the best day. They've been seeing a lot of gray screen simulator, and they just can't seem to catch a break in these team fights. They're getting zero peel. The Karma is just not doing anything. It is basically a 4v5 right now in favor of New Age. And as Clonk continues down this path of, you know, AP items, it's gonna start looking more like a 5v3. Same with the Zac. They're going the tank stack Zac, which is what they're designed to do, but there's not a lot of damage. And so as long as Viego and Caitlyn can't do the damage, they're not gonna get the objectives.
And you can feel the pressure that Vark is showing. Look at his build. Second item, Lord Dominix. He just feels like he's not doing anything to the massive front line of Potato, Age-King, and Chaser. And you gotta feel for him. Caitlyn is one of those champions that just recently got changed. So Vark betting it all on this pick and not working out for him this time. Yes, he's 4-5-5. Got a lot of KP. Does have quite a bit of gold. But just doesn't feel like he's mounting up to the pressure that Blazing Bronze on this Senna at more than 80 souls at 24 minutes is putting on with that extended range, with that extra critical strike chance, and all the stats that come with the passive here. So with the Baron in hand, with Soul Point secured for New Age, they are now in the driver's seat. What feels like the first time in this series, finally This is their game to take. They're going to push mid. They'll rotate down to the bottom side, get this bot tier 2 as well, and will back away. Finally, New Age have a 5,000 gold lead, Doctor. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. Glaive Amethyst on the brink of losing their second game in Excellency Heavy.
Yeah, pretty successful Baron there as well, too. Like you said, they got a ton of objectives off of it. They won a couple fights with it. They got the Dragon, giving them soul point with it being that Earth Soul, too. The problems are just mounting for Glaive. There is a lot of armor and other stats on this New Age team that are only being bolstered by these Earth Souls. And as soon as they get that fourth one, or the fourth Dragon, third Mountain Soul, they then also get that bonus Forever Shield, and they're already struggling so hard to get kills here in this game. Imagine just having a bonus 400 HP shield for the rest of the game while you continue to build these tank stats that are then being modified even further. And it's just, I don't know at what point Glaive Amethyst get a damage dealer. I mean, we're seeing Caitlyn, Kraken Slayer into Lord Dominic's. We're seeing Viego, Kraken Slayer into Blade of the Ruin King. We're now seeing Grievous Wounds and Executioner's Calling and BF Sword from Caitlyn. But like, what do you do damage-wise? You get like 3 autos, maybe off in a team fight, because you don't have any attack speed to back up any of this other stuff.
Yeah, it feels a little rough, and I do want to correct myself. It would be their third loss if they do lose, sitting at 17-2 on the night for now. But regardless, a third loss, that is not a lot for Glaive Amethyst. They do not lose often, but New Age looking to be the team that proves to themselves and proves to the rest of us that they can do it. Shout out in chat. We're gonna get a posture check in and let everyone who's watching tonight grab that posture check and take it quickly, because in goes this Zac once again. The Dawning Shadow is there, and let's bounce, baby, as Baby Powder is in the middle of the team, but immediately has to get away. Gets 2 summoners off of the Senna, but look at Chaser flashing forward aggressively, looking to get the Zac passive away, but will not be able to get it for now. POS2 is here. The Heartbreaker is there. H-King has to get back, trying to peel for his team. POS2 gonna go forward, gonna find himself a double kill, and now Potatoes in the back end of the fight, but has no Mega, and will have to kite away. Good Stride Breaker onto 3, but has to retreat. Doesn't have the ability to pull this one out, and POS2 flashing forward to get Blazing Bronze, and Potato is 1v3, finally going Mega, but in goes Baby Powder once more, looking for the play, still has the Zac passive, and the Stretching Strike will not connect. Trivia Boy gonna go down, gonna go low, gonna go back to the gray screen once more. Baby Powder still looking forward. The Smite's gonna go there. Potato is fast when he gets out of the Mega, and will be able to get out of this fight, at least for now. The Stretching Arms gonna go forward once more, but here comes the teleport. It is return play from Chaser. The trap was there, but Baby Powder has found himself dead once more. The Catfish Potato gonna go down as well. 20-20 on the scoreboard. A sloppy fight from both of these squads.
Yeah, that was a lot of spaghetti coming across the screen there. I mean, POS2 just popping off, getting a bunch of kills there in the mid lane, basically solo too. As soon as that mid lane gank from Baby Powder failed, POS2 was basically stranded. They were like, nope, see you, buddy. If you survive, write us a postcard. If you don't, we'll see you back at the fountain when we join you. And somehow they still come out so far ahead there, getting a bunch of kills, bunch of gold in their pocket. They're able to complete their Sterix Gauge now, and now they're a real threat. They have a lot of HP. They get that massive shield from the Sterix, and they are building up this lifesteal component of the Blade of Ruin King. So they are looking to be problematic from now on if they can get a little bit more of an assistance from the rest of the team, because Potato Senpai by themselves 1v3'd the rest of the team and left no quarter for the side of Glaive. They just did it. They just took over the team fight from that point and said, no, you can't help your buddy there. They'll have to send you a postcard.
Potato just about to go into Mega, but this isn't the ideal time unless they want to force to engage now. Potato here in the front line, just trying to zone away Baby Powder from getting this steal. Can he be the hero to deny Mountain Soul? The Dawning Shadow across the squad, and Peter flashing away. Potato still here in the front line. Age King gonna do a lot of work with the Frozen Tundra, but in goes Baby Powder onto the back line. Age King's been taken down. Baby Powder looking to make the play, looking to get back to the dragon, but of all members, it's marked that secures the dragon away from the hearts of New Age. 4 members have been taken off the board. It's every member except for the mid lane, keeping themselves dead for at least another 30 seconds. And with Baron on the board, Glaive Amethyst marching straight forward for it.
Hey, POS got some help. They finally got a little bit of assistance in these team fights, and take a look at that. They won it. They're gone to the Baron now. They got the dragon. They're feeling good. They're loving life. They're doing the good stuff. POS goes into the back line, just completely disrupts what was going on, and I loved the play there for Glaive Amethyst to actually fight the team fight instead of fight the dragon, because again, you're not going to be able to contest Nunu in a smite fight. You just can't do it. So taking advantage of Baby Powder's extended range on the slingshot, they landed right onto the carries of New Age, and that became so disruptive. You get the ultimate engage from PSO2, and the rest of it just works out from there. It's just tons of good stuff, and it is going to be their Baron, and we'll have to see if they can actually, you know, continue this trend, if they can actually get something going here.
Yeah, and with that, the gold lead for New Age has evaporated once again. This game has gone back and forth all night. But the carries here for Glaive Amethyst have now begun to pick up critical pieces of itemization. Caitlyn, with that Infinity Edge, will do a lot more damage with a 60% crit in hand. You could say the same about Blazing Bronze. Now has the rapid fire cannon, but Potato looking for the 1v1, has the ultimate. The Gnar can go forward, but he just doesn't have the damage duel. POS2 at this time. Kraken Slayer board gonna do so much damn work against that Gnar. Potato has to retreat, but Baby Powder is here trying to cut off the escape route, won't be able to do so. And with the Baron still in tow, Glaive Amethyst still looking for the siege.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest part about that 1v1 between Potato and POS is the Gnar didn't actually stun against the wall. That would have been critical to getting that kill. Had that gone off, I do think that Potato potentially turns it, but without any crowd control, the unrelenting auto attacks there from POS2 with the Blade of the Ruined King, with that Kraken Slayer, like you said, they just hurt too much. And even with the stats that Potato has, they don't have the HP to survive.
Inhibitor now under pressure. Once again, the slingshot over the wall is being threatened, but it doesn't matter. Baby Powder doesn't need to go forward to find any kills. It was just an inhibitor that they were looking for. New Age now with an open base. There is cracks in this armor that New Age have shown, and Glaive Amethyst are back to their top tier form that we were expecting. Yes, New Age had an advantage earlier on into this game. Yes, New Age had the lead, but all it was one team fight. And now all of a sudden, Glaive Amethyst back on the top, back in control, back to sieging the base of New Age. Potato Senpai still here trying to clear out super minions. POS2 though, gonna do the dirty work, getting the first turret in the top lane for Glaive Amethyst, as supers will be pushing down mid when this soul spawns for New Age. Soul point for Glaive Amethyst.
It only took Caitlyn getting 4 items before they would become relevant. The Infinity Edge, the Kraken Slayer, the Lord Dominic's, and now the Rapid Fire Cannon. We've finally hit a bit of a point in the game where we're seeing Caitlyn Karma do what they should have been doing basically the whole game, which is just sieging, right? Just walking up to the tower, throwing out a bunch of abilities, and then being able to take the objective. It's kind of like that meme with the comic book guys just throwing a bunch of stuff and he goes, boom, random bullcrap, go. And it's just, that's what Caitlyn Karma does. You show up to the lane, you throw a bunch of things, you push a bunch of buttons, and the enemy team's supposed to just let you take the objective. It's in the contract. Everybody signed it. They know exactly how it goes. It just took us 30 minutes and 4 items to get there. And so now that that's done, we're gonna see a bit of a momentum shift because we have this dragon in 40 seconds now. New Age, they're as strong as they're pretty much gonna get. The damage dealer has the 3 items. They do have that warding totem as well. You have Tom Kench on 3 items. Pretty much everybody's on 3 items except for Gnar, who's at 4.5, right? Like, nobody really is getting stronger than where they are now. So this dragon, you either get yourself a soul or you lose and potentially lose soul point to your opponent, who also loves all these big take stats.
Oh, here we go. The team fight's gonna go down, and it's an instant kill onto Age King. Blazing Bronze needs to get out of here, needs to keep himself safe, but look who's on the flank. It's POS2, and for Bark has found himself a double kill. The Piltover Peacemaker does enough to take down the Catfish for the 8th time this game. And Potato Senpai, man, he's 1v4. It's not enough. And Bark sends his regards. Good night, New Age. Good night to New Age fans alike. Glaive Amethyst will take this one in just over 35 minutes. It's POS Dude dashing forward and Baby Powder kills secured. Peter back in the base. The ace in the hole will not connect as he goes golden. But the final fight at the end of the night will go the way of Glaive Amethyst. New Age had an opportunity, had a shot, but couldn't do it as the Nexus falls.
All right, and now that we got this game out of the way, we can head on to the match of the night. Eloquence from the chat and Juicebox Guy winner. Might get a little bit of attention from Clonk, but from what I hear, they have a busy schedule, and truly, they don't actually know who you are. But for now, I mean, Glaive Amethyst, you guys got some stuff to work on. Just straight up, that was messy. And I know we saw some chat comments there coming in saying that you guys were just inconsistent in general, but this has looked nothing like any of the other games we've seen from you guys. It's halfway in the season. You got to shape up.
Yeah, if you want to stay at the top of the table, have to keep up and in shape and in form. To break down whether Glaive Amethyst can do that or what New Age found to be successful, we will throw it on over to the analyst desk before we get into our interview. Juice